Well, I got it.
While we wait for additional people to join, we can all tape down our paintings in the horizontal position. So you just take a piece of tape and then you want to cover your paper about 1/8 to 1/4 inch around the entire border. Yeah, watercolor paper is made with a lot of natural fibers, so that it doesn't, like, the water doesn't eat through it. But that also means that when it gets wet, it tends to like buckle. So by taping it down, there's a better chance of it drying flat, which is what we want. I hope everyone's enjoying their Thursday and their week so far, which is almost done.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Suzanne.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome into the class. We are going to be painting this nice fall scene today. We're just starting by taping down our one piece of paper horizontally down onto your table or surface, while we wait for everyone to come in to the class.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. You entered 8908782. This meeting ID does not exist. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Hey, if you're having issues logging on, send me an IM and I'll try to help you. Or not logging on, but if you can't hear the sound.
What if I can't see my
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue.
Hey, Lisa.
Yes.
What do I do if I don't see
Please
my
enter the
picture?
meeting password followed by pound.
It just has my name.
Oh, wait, you don't see yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, go down to the bottom.
You are in the
Left.
meeting now. There are 18 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, somebody needs to mute their computer.
Oh, go.
Okay, Laura. So
Yeah.
down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a button that says stop video or start video.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, click on that.
So it should be on integrated webcam.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine just came on.
Mine usually does.
Can you see the painting though?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm sad we won't see your face, but that's the main thing.
Okay, I think I'm gonna get started now, unless anybody knows of anyone who's trying to log in or whatnot. All right, if we are good, welcome everybody. I'll be your host. My name is Julie, and I will be guiding you through this nice fall forest painting today. I've been painting watercolors for over 20 years, and I've started teaching them in the middle of the pandemic when there was a wonderful opportunity to just change career paths, and I've been loving it ever since. Haven't had a second thought about it, and actually in September I'm going to be going to school for it full time. So welcome and on joining me on this exciting journey for me. And I will start by going over the materials that we have. So we have our 8.5 by 5.5 piece of watercolor paper taped down on all sides. And then I have a pencil and eraser. I have my brushes, various brushes. Just a ratty washcloth that I like to use for cleaning off my paintbrushes. I have one paper towel, 2 cups of cold water. One of them you are going to try and keep as clean as possible. Easier said than done sometimes. But those ones we'll be using for clean washes, and I'll go into that. And then the last piece is my paint set. You guys can mix all of your paints when we do mixing up here. I'm going to be using this guy because you'll be able to see the color a little better with like the white background. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we get started? All right, if we are good, then let's grab our pencils real quick. And when we draw on watercolor paper, we want to draw as light as possible because watercolor paints are very transparent. So you can you use techniques like layering different colors on top of each other because you can see the layers through them. But it means that if you also press really dark with your pencil, then you're going to be able to see that too. So for me, I'm going to be pressing dark so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Excuse me. But for the most part, yeah, try and draw as light as possible. And we can always go back with an eraser if you do. So what we are going to do is at first, we're going to draw a big X in our painting. And so this just basically creates a guide of now we know that this is going to be the center focus of our painting. So that's going to be like this area where it's nice and light. And that's all, honestly, the only marks that we are going to use. If you guys did press a little hard like I did, you can take an eraser and just kind of rock it back and forth, which slowly picks up the graphite. So it still leaves a bit of a mark, but not like a super dark one like we had. And I apologize if I do a lot of coughing or anything. My daughter has a cold from daycare, so of course she spread it to me, as children tend to do.
I'm just sharing.
I'm sorry?
They just want to share with mommy.
Yes. Everything. She likes eating our food, so that's probably how we ended up getting it. All right, now you guys can put away your pencils and erasers because we are not going to need those anymore. And we can start by taking do you guys have a number 8 brush? It should say number 8 on the side, or the closest to number 8 round that you guys have. All right, you're gonna take that, you're gonna wet it in your water. And you're going to paint the water onto your paper inside these triangular lines, like inside these triangles that we just created. So you're gonna wet all of that area.
Oh.
Once that area is nice and wet, you can wet your brush again and then pick up a nice yellow color of your choosing. I'm going to go with this one right here, which isn't like super highlighter yellow. It's more of like a nice sun yellow. And you're going to try and completely saturate your brush as much as you can. And then you can start spreading that around as your first layer, especially along like the tops of the trees. This is our first layer, so feel free to cover as much as you want because we're going to go over while it's still wet with the oranges and the reds afterwards. I did a very rough job, and then I'm going to, after that, clean my brush, and with water, just with some water, I'm gonna like drag and soften my colors around. So I'm almost painting again over that same lead layer, but just with water and kind of moving the colors around. Kind of messing up this nice straight line that's going to be our canopy up here. Make it look a little more natural.
have it on camera. I'm one of them. Those are some of the processes I work with. They're on camera, but most of the underwriters are not on camera.
Hey, Monica, you're not muted. Oh, she can't hear.
I'd rather be listening, but this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
This is why I got the things that I did. I think this was fun. No electrical.
Yeah. Monica, I've just muted you, just in case.
I gotta catch up here.
No worries. Take your time. The nice thing about watercolors, if your paintings are drying, because this is a wet on wet technique that we're doing. So we're wetting our paper first, and then we're picking up our paint with a very wet brush and then putting it on. And because of that, the paint kind of just naturally starts to fan out, which is what this technique is really good for. The nice thing about working wet on wet is that if it starts to dry, you can just take wet or some water and just paint over it again, and you just wet your painting again. So no worries. And we are going to want to keep that canvas wet. So wherever that yellow is, we want to make sure that it stays wet. And you can kind of just pull more your colors around. Like you can always wet them again and then continue to like pull them around. Which is something that you can't really get with acrylic. So that's one of the nice things about watercolor. If you are finished with your yellow, you can go around with this next color. And I'm going to pick this like fiery orange down here. So again, I'm just going to, with a very wet brush, saturate my brush with that color. And I'm going to add it in while trying to still let the yellow kind of bleed through and have its own place. And then on the other side, I'm going to wet my paintbrush again and pick up even more color.
Yours looks way better than mine.
Yeah, I do.
They'll all come together in the end, I promise.
Okay.
The majority of my students really have faith, so I have faith that it's gonna come through at the end. And then we can wet our brushes one more time with clean water and pick up a nice red. I'm going this red in the top. It's not like, it's like almost a pinkish red. And I'm gonna add that in there and around. And then whenever my color seems to be fading and it's turning more orange, I'm just gonna go and like pick up more color with a wet brush. So I'm gonna re-wet my brush and then pick up more of that color. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Now I want more color again, so I just wet my brush again, and I'm picking up more of that color.
Hmm.
And your colors should be like bleeding nicely together. And if they're not, that means that you have to add a little bit more water. So if they look more brush strokey to you, like if they look more like that, they look very brush strokey and you can like see all the brush strokes in it. Just wet your brush and like clean it with warm water or with your clean water, and then just paint over it with the water. And you see how it instantly just softens up all those brush strokes. Does anybody else need a few more minutes still?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, if you're ready to move on to the next step, we are going to be mixing a color. So we are going to take that same red that you used throughout your canopy. We're going to take that red, put them in a tray. And then we're going to grab like a dark blue. I'm using this blue down here. We're going to grab a bit of that, and just a bit because the blue goes a long way. And we are going to mix them together until we get like a nice reddish purple that we are happy with. I'm going to add a little bit more blue. We're looking for, this is going to be like our shadow area. And we're going to take that color and we are going to add it to like the bottom of where you think the different layers are. So like this big red piece right here is one like big clump of leaves in my mind. So I'm going to take that color and I'm going to put it along the bottom of it. Does that make sense? So we're adding a little bit of depth. I'm going to do the same for the other side. I'm probably going to have to mix more color. All right, I'm going to go mix more of that color real quickly. So again, it was that red that we used in throughout our canopy with some of that dark blue.
Interesting.
And now we're going to wait for this to dry, but in the meantime, we can still have a little bit of fun. We're going to add some of this splatter work that's up here. So if you have anything that you want to like keep nice and clean, I suggest laying a paper towel over it because this part is going to be messy. So I'm going for sure my laptop keyboard. And I'm going to take away this painting because it's also going to splatter into that painting. It'll get closer so that you guys can see it a little better. So we are gonna load up our paintbrush again. So I'm wetting my paintbrush and I'm loading it up with that original yellow that we used. And I'm going to take another paintbrush and we are going to lightly bang the one brush onto the other. And it's going to leave these fun pieces of color. And the wetter your brush is, the bigger the drops you'll get.
This is not as easy as it sounds.
Mine looks like a toddler painting.
If this is a competition, I think I've done too well. Okay.
It is not. Not on my end anyways. I don't know about the rest of your team.
Amy looks very serious as an artist. She's concentrating.
Look like a child.
So I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom.
Okay.
And if it gets on your clothes, it's okay because it's watercolor, so it'll wash out. Then once you're finished with the yellow, you can move on to that orange. And then we're going to do it to the red too. The only one we're not going to do it is like that brown, that purple color that we created. I'm just quickly cleaning up my desk now that I'm finished and my paint's all still wet. Okay, the last thing we have to do before this dries is we are gonna go and with like a damp paper towel, I'm gonna go and kind of just pick up everything in the middle. Which will begin to make it look like everything's fading as it's getting closer to the middle. And I have really wet areas. So I'm just with a damp brush, not wet, but with damp, I'm just gonna soak up some of these huge puddles. So that it dries a little quicker, which will soak up some of the color, but also we only have an hour and a half. All right, that'll be good enough. Awesome, this looks fun. Now we can, if you guys want, we can either play a game or we could take another piece of paper and maybe draw like some plants or something on it. Uh-oh. If you guys would like, I'll leave that up to you. I have a couple of icebreaker games, as well as we could just continue painting.
Who wants to do a game? Anybody want to do a game, or anybody want to paint?
Rather paint.
Paint? All right.
Paint?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So don't untape this, but you can grab out another piece of paper. So I'm going to be using this guy because I have like a whole bunch of them just lying around. And you guys can also, if you guys want to get a piece like this, you can take like an original paper and just kind of bend it in half. And then with the side of your brush, kind of really press that down. And then flip it over. And this is only if you want to get a nice thin piece like this. Flip it over and do that again. And then like maybe do that 2 more times. And then you should just be able to tear it. Then it'll tear relatively straight. All right, so then you can grab your number 2 brush. And I am 100% just winging this. So if you guys want to experiment and paint something else, please feel free. At the moment, I'm just going to go with like I'm going to paint just like leaves and greenery and some flowers. So I'm going to grab this like olive green color that I have right here. And I'm going to draw one line, pressing very lightly with my brush.
Oh.
Up here. And now with brush technique, the less weight you put on your brush, the thinner the line is going to be. Because at that point, you're only using the tip. Whereas if you press heavily, and I'll do that right now, if I press down heavy and then kind of lift up, it gives me like a nice point, which is often how I do a lot of grass. So I can lift heavy and then just kind of lift up, and it can give me some nice leaf shapes. I'm gonna press down heavy and lift up with kind of pulling in a sideways motion. I'm going to continue going down this stem by pressing down and then lifting up. I'm going to alternate leaves as well. Down. A brush technique does take a bit to get used to, but once you understand it, it really makes painting more enjoyable and easier. So at this point, we're just playing around. Gonna give you guys some time to really experiment with playing with some brush technique.
Oh, Lord.
I'm pressing down
Let
hard.
me see, Amy. Can you put it closer to the camera? Well, that's way better than mine. Let me show you mine. I don't even know what this is. Like, it's fine.
They look like leaves to me. I could look at it and right away tell that it was leaves.
Well, thank you. Thank God I'm not paid to be an artist. Would not do very well.
And then I'm going to switch over to like this nice yellow ochre color, like a nice yellow, mustardy yellow ochre color. And I'm going to play with some heavy to light hands. So I'm going to press down really heavily and then lightly pull up. And as you pull up, it starts creating this nice tapered look. I'm just going to go right through all this. I'm just kind of like creating random wherever I want it to go. And then I'm going to switch to a number 8 brush and pick up, what color do we want to pick up? Let's pick up like this burnt sienna, which is like a reddish brown, almost a terracotta color. I'm gonna add little circles, like, not circles, more like ovals. That looks more like. add those around. So this technique is called a dry brush, and you can get like a lot more detail. This is how you do a lot of detail with watercolor, where the paper is dry. And then you're just going over with a relatively dry brush with some paint. It's not like soaked. Are we at least feeling nice and relaxed?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That is the goal. So I think I'm gonna add like a sunflower-y kind of flower right here. So I'm going to pick up this burnt umber I moved to a flat brush, a flat 3/4 inch brush. This is a burnt umber, so it's like a reddish brown. Like this is like a terracotta red brown, whereas this is like a nice earthy red brown. And then I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to switch back to my number 8 brush. I'm going to grab more of that yellow ochre, that mustard yellow color that we had. And I'm just going to start pulling out petals by holding my brush on an angle, pressing down hard, and then as I pull away, I'm lifting up on the pressure. So I'm going at it on an angle, pulling out, and then lifting up. And then I'm going to mix like a brown and a black together and kind of just add some dots in the center. How is our original paintings looking? Are they still wet?
Mine's dry.
Good.
Yours are all dry? Okay. I am just going to quickly take another painting and start fanning this one to speed up this process because I am kind of getting there. I'm almost dry. You can also take a hair dryer if it's very, very wet. But this actually looks like it's doing pretty well. I'm just gonna pick up this one. It's very wet. Okay, so now we are going to mix together. Oh, paint tray's broken. So we're just gonna mix together like almost a brown black color. Very, very dark brown. So I am taking this color brown right here, that's right next to my black, with a wet brush. I'm gonna put him down. I'm gonna grab more of him. So I'm going to wet my brush again. That's nice and wet. Going to grab a lot of that color. Ooh, accidentally grabbed a little bit of green there, but that's okay. And then add it into the paint tray. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this black, which is in this bottom hand corner right here. And mix it together.
What color did you do with the brown?
Black. Just a little bit of black. And I keep on adding a little bit of black until I get the dark brown color that I'm looking for. That's nice color. And now when I add it, my paint's still a little bit wet, so it might spread a bit. If yours is perfectly dry, you'll end up with these nice clean lines like up here. Move that again. So you're going to start with the front being the tallest trees and the darkest trees. And as you get closer to the middle, they're going to get lighter and lighter. And I'm going to start on the left-hand side because I'm right-handed. So if I start here, I have a chance of like smudging all of my wet paint. So I'm going to start on this side. And now a tree trunk generally is thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. I'm going to do the next one, and I want them to kind of come out of this general area, like all of this underbrush looking stuff. That's where I want it to kind of come out of.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm actually gonna switch to my smallest brush that I have, the thinnest brush, which is the number 2. Now, as I get closer in, I'm just so lightly pressing down. And as I get closer in, I can kind of add my paint and then dab it up. And it's going to give it more of like a transparent, like it's fading off into the distance look.
Hmm.
And if you want the branches to kind of fade into the treetop, you can wet your brush, dry it off. So I'm gonna put it here. Dry this off, and then kind of just sweep up, and it creates like a blend, like a gradient, by like lightly picking up color. And this will make it so that like the tops of your trees aren't just like an immediate stop. It'll kind of blend a little more. And I have to mix a little more color in order to do the other side. How are we feeling about our forest?
Your trees look amazing.
Thank you.
Gosh.
Lots of practice.
The second side definitely went better than the first.
Nice. All right, getting a feel for it. That's awesome.
First.
I'm gonna go in with a damp, clean brush and kind of do that fading thing. Where I just scrub a little bit and create more of a gradient so that's not like just a hard cutoff. I'm going to go in and darken some of these trees on this first side that I did. Cool. I'm going to allow that to dry a bit. I just like waving it. I'm just looking for these bottom trunks to dry so that we can start adding in like this nice underbrush, like the leaf piles and stuff. All right. So now we're going to mix another color. So again, I'm going to take that red that we used for the tree line, put them in its own little plate area. And then I'm going to take that same blue, but I'm going to make it a really cold purple. So I'm going to be adding way more blue this time. So you can see the difference. This was the first purple that we mixed, and now this is the second purple that we're mixing. And we're gonna take that, and we're gonna kind of just add it along the edge up to the tree line to make it look like it's just kind of fallen leaves. And as it goes into the center, I'm gonna add my paint. I'm gonna quickly dab it up with the paper towel to give it that same like going off into the distance look. Gonna add like stray leaves here and there.
That is not my dog this time. Ever talked to me on the phone, I'm sure you've heard my dog barking in the background.
That's mine.
Way to go, Sherry.
You're not that ferocious.
They just act like it.
Yep.
Those small dogs, man.
Small dog syndrome.
Yes.
How's it looking? Did that help make it look like all your trunks are coming out of leaves?
Better.
I don't know if it looks like yours, but it looks better.
You're not an artiste.
You can go in and like add just little splotches of the original red that we had near the top to create like a nice little color gradient that blends in a little bit more. I'm just adding that right to the top. That's it. Yeah, and then I think the last thing that we're gonna do is add some secondary trees behind the first layer of trees just to add a little bit more depth to it. So I'm going to wet my brush and I'm gonna dry it off just a little bit. Pick up some of that brown. I'm not going to fully saturate my brush with it. I'm just picking it up with like just a little tip of it. And then I'm just gonna go in and lightly add another layer of trees, and the fact that they're like very transparent and very see-through is going to make it look like they are behind the original trees that we added. And you can even, if you're not getting that look, you can even put them down and then pick them up real quickly with a paper towel. That is another option to get them looking very transparent. And then after you're finished that, you're basically done your painting. Does anyone have any questions? And then when you are ready to take off your painting and your tape, please pull away from your painting when you're doing that. Because I would hate for you guys to peel in and then accidentally tear apart your painting.
Hey.
Anybody willing to show them up? See what we got?
I will, but nobody can laugh at mine. Is anybody else gonna do it?
I would if I could.
Yeah, I would if I could.
Oh, Nick, yours looks
Oh,
really
Nick, that looks
good.
great.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, Lisa, that looks
wow.
good too.
I'm not showing
Good.
them.
Nick is an artiste.
Oh,
I
Kristen,
like
that
that,
looks
Kristen.
great. Oh, nice. Little flowers, great.
Nick, I'll show you my flower. Here you go, right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I felt like I was in kindergarten again.
Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
oh,
Looks
wow.
good, Kristen. Oh, Julie. Okay, Julie. You are a professional.
Let me see Julie's again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really
Do you
good,
guys want to all hold them up and get like a screenshot and I can send it to you guys?
Nope.
Sounds good. Perfect.
It was fun.
It was fun. Thank you, Julie, for helping
Yeah,
us.
thank you very
Nice and
much.
relaxed.
Thank
And
you.
you guys have been a wonderful group. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Y'all have a good
Awesome.
afternoon.
You as well.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
bye.